Listen in as 5 friends take turns weaving stories to the tabletop game of their choice. This is 5 GMs in a Trench Coat.
Hello everyone, welcome to 5 GMs in a Trench Coat. My name is Tanner Sherlock. I'll be your DM for today. To my right...
Hello, it's me, Tainlin, playing Devon. Fun fact, he's kind of musty. Not on purpose, not on purpose. Let me explain.
Is it like earthy or is it like musty?
It's like, he's like a crystal girly, and like he cares about
What?
his like...
A crystal girly?
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's not enough.
It's all natural.
Using like salt for deodorant is not enough.
Yeah, you can't wet a crystal and go under there. And
People do that?
Oh God, yeah.
It's like a whole thing. It's
Guys.
like a holistic thing.
Guys,
Yeah, he's
I
very
have no
holistic.
problem with holistic stuff.
no,
but
this has
that
gone too far.
specifically-
This has gone too far. When people start being smelly, I can't deal with it, you guys.
Let me tell you, he has a musk. It's natural. Pheromones. Anyways, move on.
Does he smell like dragon? Like...
Yes.
That was a look
Yeah,
of
the
what
audience,
you had to ask
the audience couldn't see Tanlin's look, but Tanlin just gave me a side eye when I said that, which means yes.
Yeah.
Jesse?
Hello, I'm Jesse, and I play Titus the Typhoon in Tempest. Well, the thing is about Titus is he actually wears perfume.
That's
Wow.
adorable.
He doesn't like the musk that is natural musk.
You mean that's
What-
alcohol,
what
Jesse.
kind
Just
of-
sensitive alcohol.
What kind of perfume?
Just whatever you could get.
Oh, okay.
He's not picky. He just likes
What's your if he
perfume.
had like, Dior.
Yeah.
Or like,
He
or like,
just-
He's
he
like
just
a-
thinks it's like fancy. He's
men's-
like, this is what fancy
men's
people do.
deodorant.
I like the idea.
Tiger cock.
Oh.
I like the idea that Titus is like a rose guy. You know, like he
Yeah.
has like
Yeah,
rose
very
water
floral.
I
perfume.
like gold
Yeah.
rose.
Yeah.
Like, you like rose gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kim and I'm playing B. And I would like to preface my fun fact by saying that I am on the tail end of recovering from a cold.
Okay.
So my fun fact is that B has sniffles right now.
I was like, it's always really good when you have to preface your fun fact. Like, yeah, you know.
I just want to,
Yeah. So that's my fun fact.
That makes sense. I am Adam, and I'm playing Araceli. And a fun fact about Araceli is that he has attempted and failed on 6 different occasions to learn how to play Sudoku. How to play Sudoku.
Of course, yeah.
But the thing is, it's not called Sudoku in this world,
No.
right, Jesse? Because having
It's called number jumble.
yeah, that's right. That's the name of the game.
Dragon numbers.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Everything's dragon in this world.
you're right. You mean like Dragon Chess? Fuck
Dragon
me.
chess, dragon numbers, Sudoku. Yeah, he's really bad at it. It's just so confusing.
Forgotten World sucks. Dragon Chess is a stupid name for a game.
I agree.
Anyway.
Hi, my name is Tanner. I'm playing Tanner and every character. And fun fact about Tanner, he has back pain right now, so his back is killing him, you guys. No, not on air.
They're boyfriends, guys. Just so you
Yeah,
know.
it's true.
Never.
Canonically.
No.
It's
I
canon. It's
no.
Ship us. Ship us. Do it. Ship
Do
us,
it, do it,
please.
do it.
Yeah.
All right, so when we last left off, the gang had just discovered that one of the crewmates of Tandem's ship had stolen a dragon egg and then beat the shit out of that guy
I
who
don't
was...
think we beat the shit. I think we hit him a couple times.
No, you guys hit him pretty hard.
Jumped him.
I think somebody
For the viewers
slapped him
at
and then
home.
Devon like punched him in the face.
I also punched him. in the
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
It was a
We punched him
couple.
at the same time.
So
Yeah, you kind of laid that guy out.
Yeah.
the dragons took the dragon egg away to the roost.
Yeah, that was the whole thing.
And then after that, Titus received a letter that's said something like, "I know like who you are," or "I know what you did,"
Uh-oh.
and
Uh-oh.
recognized
That's a long list.
Oh no.
recognized somebody who was
Pretty
talking
long.
to
Like 10.
Mabel.
It's on both my
About it.
hands.
All right, so we pan in on Araceli, and Araceli is okay. So there is a
Doing push-ups.
yeah, he's just doing straight push-ups. There's a training area like underneath, like within the base, right?
Okay.
Like
And,
Rocky.
Yeah, there are
Oh,
like
just frozen meat. Frozen
yeah, I was
slabs of
gonna
meat?
say it's like frozen slabs of meat.
Perfect.
And no, but it's like a little training room. It's maybe like 15 by 15 or so, and there are like sand weights and stuff like that. But it's pretty sparse right now. They don't have a lot of money to put into stuff like this.
Yeah.
So what is Araceli doing to train? Just like short.
Actually, I do have a quick question then. How long has it been since we've arrived back on the island?
So it's been a week.
Okay, perfect. So, currently, I think Odyssey has been trying his tinkering. Cause he's a decent tinkerer.
Uh-huh.
Can I?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
we'll get there in a second.
Yeah, well, no. So since it's been a week, I think that he's been attempting to get it right.
Right.
And so if currently they are functional, I would like to train with them.
Okay, so actually, yeah, so don't describe what the object is, but tell me what you're doing right now and what it looks like if we're watching.
So is anyone else down here with me, or is it just me?
I think Devon isn't right now.
No.
And Titus has some business to attend to. What about B?
I would not be.
Okay,
I'm
so it's
I'm up
just you.
top, just hanging out.
You know what? Actually, maybe Tandem is like drinking in the corner, just hanging out and like watching you.
That's
yes,
not
I
creepy
think,
at all.
I think I'm trying to get a hang of my fire powers because I think it is. Obviously, my magic's very powerful, and it's gotten me out of a lot of like trouble.
Right.
But also, it's very uncontrolled,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think that I'm kind of trying to refine it, and also see if I can like rein it in with like little tools that I can use.
Okay, cool. So maybe it's something like there's a little like target dummy that you and Tandem like put together. You're like, hey Tandem, help, and he's like, all right.
It's a bottle.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a bottle on like a little wooden stick, and maybe like you're aiming at it and like with your fire, and then we'll flash back to let's say 6 days ago.
Okay.
What does it look like when RSLE comes up with an idea?
Yeah, okay, so I think one of the things he does is, my little board?
Yes.
So I didn't make that myself. Like, I did parts of it, but I didn't make the entire thing on my own. But I kind of just, like, put it up, and I just look at it, and I just kind of stare at it.
Okay.
And I just stare at, like, things I've made for a very long time.
Okay.
Until I'm like, oh.
Okay.
And so I think I'm probably
An invisible
like,
light bulb.
2.5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, a little, like, flame lights on top of my head.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
me
no,
just
just smoke.
yeah,
Oh my
of me just staring at my board, and I'm like, and then I like kind of start tinkering with the back where the fire like plumes out.
Right.
And I think that's probably where I start drawing up like schematics and stuff of what I want to build.
Okay, cool. So RSLE ideates by staring at his own inventions. Got it.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta do
I
what
can't
you do.
read.
So you're taking aim in the present
Yeah.
with this device on your wrist, let's say.
Yes.
What does it look like when you use it?
So first it has like I want to say probably there's like a little palm thing that I can like click to cycle through the little like chambers. And then I attempt to spout my fire into the chamber instead of out of my hand, depending on what I'm doing.
Okay. Awesome. So then we'll cut back, and you're drawing. RSL is drawing schematics about
Yeah.
5-6 days ago.
Yeah.
And where would he be doing it? He has his own like space. He probably bunks with one or two other people, but
Definitely there.
okay.
I'm definitely inconveniencing other people.
Okay, got it.
No.
So maybe Mabel
Like burn marks in the room.
Mabel walks in to the room and he sees you like work on these schematics. What does it look like when RSL is drawing up like his designs?
I have a bunch of like shit kind of like stuck to the wall with like various like viscous like with like
Yeah.
it's not all using tape or anything. Like
Yeah.
they're all differently stuck up, and it's just real discombobulating.
Just like licking a piece of paper
Yes.
and sticking
Yes,
it on the wall.
absolutely.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I'm just like scrawling across the pieces of paper, kind of the different versions of what I think or how it might work, and like the different like pieces that are going to go into putting it together.
Yes. So Mabel walks in and he's quiet for a minute. It doesn't say anything. I don't know if RSL notices. Maybe not.
Probably not.
And then he walks up behind RSL and says, "Is this something you do often?"
You know.
And he takes like he kind of peers over your shoulder
Uh-huh.
to look at what you're doing, and he says, "Are you going to need materials for this?"
Do you have materials for this? Because I was just gonna dig through the trash.
The audience just like RSL maybe doesn't see it, but Mabel just like looks up like and deadpans like, "Oh God, why did I ask?" It's on me, really.
Fucking Jim's
Yeah,
the camera.
yeah, Jim's the camera, exactly. And he says, "If you think it would help you, I might be able to procure some things, but I might need to ask our friend Jakira."
That'd be really cool if you could do that.
Mabel sighs,
Thank
and then
you.
just turns and says, "Of course, anything you need, Araceli.
Awesome.
I hope I don't
And then,
regret this."
You see, honestly, like slides, and like slide what looks like something made out of probably like leftover like cans and metal just off of my like little table into
Yeah.
like a trash can.
Yeah.
I'm like, nice.
And then we cut back to the present, and first roll me your magic.
Ooh, that was really bad. I got a 2.
All right, so yeah, your fire erupts out of this like tube, right? And maybe like it goes a little farther and harder than you expected.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of recoil, which maybe you also didn't expect.
Right.
And
because typically fire does not have recoil. When
exactly.
I use it.
Yes. That's what I mean, right? So you're like, whoa, like that's a little different.
Uh-huh.
And the shot goes wide and maybe like singes part of like Tandem's hat, and he's like, oh, and then throws it on the ground and like kicks it out.
Sorry. I wasn't aiming for you. I swear.
Tandem says, no, it's fine. Every time I talk as Tandem, I always do a different British accent, but it will always be British.
I can't wait for him to be cockney.
Yeah, I know. Tandem says, it's all right, you're fine. And then I went into like Scottish, Irish. That was weird.
I'm a fan.
So,
no, hold on, because I like to think that he's doing it.
Yeah,
like
that Tandem
is changing.
Who knows what Tandem's accent actually is?
Yeah.
He just talks.
He's a well-traveled man.
Yeah.
He's just well-traveled.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. He is.
Oh my god.
And then we'll cut back one last time. And you're like, Mabel has given you some supplies, some bits of leather, some actual metal tubing, but a lot of it's kind of up to you now.
Yeah.
Where do you work? There's not really a good workshop here, at least not yet. So you'd have to find a space to do it.
Probably in my room.
Okay. So yeah.
Blowing up your room.
Yeah, the fucking visual of you just like using a wooden room as a foundry is crazy.
I'll give you a free fate point for this specific action.
Oh, cool.
Roll me your engineering.
Okay. 2.
And you have a free fate point to use for this specific roll.
I can add 2 to it, right?
Or reroll. It's up to you.
I rolled pretty bad.
What's your engineering?
+2.
Oh, okay.
So I would go up to a 4, or I could re-roll and maybe get worse.
That's true. You never know.
I feel like 4 is a safe bet.
I feel like 4 is pretty solid.
Yeah, 4
Yeah,
is
exactly.
I'll go for it.
Alright, cool. So
Thanks, guys.
we'll say the construction is middling, but like impressive
I
considering.
didn't expect anything better.
What does this device look like?
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a bracelet. Imagine if you were wearing the revolving part of a revolver as a bracelet. Though.
Right.
Like your hand was the center.
The cylinder. Got it.
Yeah. And so it just clicks around, and so either the bottom of my wrist or the top of my wrist is one of the spouts, and then it sort of probably fits on me as like a leather, like up to like probably my forearm. It like has a bunch of straps and
like a
metal.
long gauntlet sort of thing.
Yeah, and then each kind of tube, right? Each of the areas, like of the cylinder, is probably loaded with a different substance.
Okay.
That I then can kind of focus fire up into and out of.
Alright, cool. So
It's honestly probably just built a lot like a revolver, especially after I got that revolver recently.
Right.
I was probably looking at that and kind of,
Right.
putting it all together.
flintlock gun, but yes.
Yes, flintlock gun.
No,
But it
I get your.
had a revolving barrel, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
that's correct. Yeah. So I'll say I'll let you have 3 different like things it can do. You can choose those at any time, and you can determine them whenever. But it can do 3 different things. It'll be one of your stunts, but it doesn't take a fate point to use. For now, though, anytime you use it, you'll take a -1 to the roll.
Okay.
But we'll get there when we get there. Yeah. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, good for you.
So yeah, we'll cut back to the present, and Tandem is putting out the fire in his hat, and the wall is scorched. And he says, "You'll get the hang of it eventually, lad. We all do when we, procure particular equipment for ourselves." And he looks at the gun on your side. I'm assuming you keep it with you, yeah?
Yeah, because I don't think I fully trust.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like all of the rebels, but like I don't think I fully trust everybody because we are amongst a lot of pirates.
I was gonna say Tandem and Titus are straight
They
thieves.
keep calling me pirate, and I don't like it.
Yeah, no, because Tandem is proud of you as a pirate.
Yeah. Actually, I have a question. Would any of you have either Titus or Tandem would either of them have given me like a holster for it? Because I don't have a holster. Or do I just have it tucked into my waistband?
I'll let Jesse answer that first.
No, I mean, I don't think Titus wouldn't have a holster. So.
Tandem.
Well, on him, like an extra holster.
Right.
Tandem probably would have just taken one from the weapon stores without telling you and presented it as a gift that he procured.
Oh yeah, that's wonderful. I'm like, thanks, Dad. It's really cool. You've been hanging out with me a lot.
So anytime, lad. Anything you need.
Did you buy this? It's really nice.
Tandem does not respond, turns and leaves. without saying a word, but with a smile on
too
his face.
expensive. I put it on.
So now we're gonna transition. What's Devon up to?
My boy Devon. I think he's just like kind of training with the dragons on the roost right now. Just kind of making sure any of them that are kind of being rowdy are not. Just normal shit.
You guys just
normal,
hanging.
like he like runs the like roost like a kennel,
Totally. So I was gonna
Yeah.
say, Devon, you guys have probably been here like a total of 2 weeks tops. Do you think Devon has kind of de facto taken over the roost? Like,
for sure, dude.
yeah, nobody really had dealt with it before. It was more of like if we get people on our side, they'll use this. So nobody ever was like, I'm gonna be in charge. So
Yeah.
is this Devon's realm now?
Yeah, someone has to take care of the babies.
But Tempest will be a little like anxious around here.
That's fine. It's to be expected. He's not gonna.
Yeah, actually,
press
how
her.
are they?
I was gonna say, so, yeah, Devon, like, maybe you go in and you're expecting, like, because, it's been about a week, so you're kind of expecting one of two things. Either the dragons are gonna want some, like, physical exercise of some kind, right? Whether it's, some flying, some actual combat training, something, or they are going to be resting. Asas Reina is gonna be, on top of that egg. And when you walk in, it's the latter. Asas Reina seems to be curled around the egg right now. The other dragons are kind of just gazing out like the various arches, like windows sort of things that lead out of the roost. None of them seem particularly interested in like physical engagement right now.
I'm not gonna like push them to do anything they don't want to. I am kind of like excited about this like whole situation though. Like fucking giddy, just like, oh shit, like fucking what's the word that people use for like chickens? Brooding. Like a brooding hen sort of thing.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
I think so.
Something
God, I
like
hope so.
that.
If it's
Yeah.
not, people will
Hey.
Um,
Just like real excited.
When you walk in and maybe like take a few steps, Asas Reina maybe like just opens an eye like to see who it is,
Oh, yeah.
and then closes it back like Um,
Heads up.
the egg is like her tail's wrapped around the egg, we'll say, and her body's behind it, but you can clearly see the egg. Does Devon know much about like dragon eggs, like dragon raising?
Well, he was given Siren like fresh out of the egg,
I was gonna
like
say most you
still
probably
wet.
were.
But I don't think he did any of the hatching part of it because he got him when he was very, very young.
Right.
Part of.
But have you hatched another dragon since?
Or
'Cause I know
helped.
you've worked with dragons
Oh,
for a long
yeah, or
time
helped.
now.
Maybe the answer is no, but I'm just
I don't think so.
Oh,
This
okay.
is like a really rare sort of. I mean, like.
True, but remember, you skated with a ton of dragons.
Oh, I did, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the thing, right? Is like it's a in all fairness, Talon, it is a weird situation
Yeah.
you're in where like
It's your
it's
fault.
very possible, but it's also very possible that you haven't.
Maybe like once, like there was a dragon who was gravid and then had an egg. But I don't think I was very in this because it's they're animals and their instincts take over, so they kind of
Yeah.
do their own thing. So I never really had to intervene into that. So this is an entirely different sort of situation where it's like,
Right. No, that totally makes sense. So, yeah, maybe there's like some sort of like allure about the egg then of like, oh, like, I'm like I haven't seen that, which means most people haven't seen this, which makes me special,
Yeah.
And if do you want to do anything while you're in here?
I
I know you're checking on the dragons, but outside of that.
I don't want to get too close to Asas Reina, obviously,
Okay.
because I don't want to.
Yeah, no.
First of all, I can't take that smoke, but also like, I understand that dragons kind of like know what they're doing,
Yeah, totally. You trust like Asas
Yeah.
Reina to deal with the situation
Yeah.
as she
So
sees
it's
it.
more just like kind of looking on like from afar, just like this is fucking sick as hell, and then checking on everyone's food, being like, okay, everyone's good, everyone's not hungry.
Is anybody
I'm
a big eater? Are any of the dragons like really just like foodies?
Kai is, yes.
So maybe Kai's a little low. You might need to refill it, but
You know what?
otherwise.
I'm probably used to that by now for
Yeah.
how long
Kai
that
is
we've
like,
been around
you
each
know
other.
how like dogs will eat but not come up for air?
Yeah,
She's like
I
that.
have to like watch her eat. Like,
She
what
has
up?
one of the like puzzle eaters.
Yeah.
You have to give her certain. You have to freeze her food so that she'll lick it.
Yeah,
and
I have
won't
to feed
eat
her
so fast.
last.
Yeah, 4 dragons.
Or feed her first so that she doesn't eat anyone else's food.
Yeah. But she still might because she's like, where'd all my food go?
Who ate my food?
Stay here. Don't look over there.
But they obviously took my food.
No.
All right, so you finish like taking care of them, and then maybe just like take your exit.
Yeah.
Does oh my God, your dragon's name?
Siren.
Does Siren come with you?
Yeah, probably. He's not interested in the egg at all. He's just like, Dad.
Yeah. No, for
Do
sure.
it.
So Siren is following you around.
Yeah, and he's like small enough to kind of not be in the way.
I was
gonna
say
me.
he probably can fit within like the tunnels and doorways and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's not that big. All right, so then we'll go and Titus.
All right.
What are you up to?
Well, I believe that the note said something about meeting them.
Yeah, so there was an implication with the note that you found that they wanted to meet with you. We'll say there was a meeting place listed. I don't remember if there
I
was.
think there was, but
We'll say...
I don't know.
But actually, you know what? No, what'll happen, even if there was a meeting place listed, what'll happen is maybe you're just walking one day on your way to like get food or something, and you run into somebody, and you recognize them. So their name is Jakira. And she was the second mate on the Azure Shadow.
Was she the one that was competent and did all the work, like Jackson?
Johnson,
I forgot
His
his
name's
name.
Jameson.
Yeah, Jameson. So she's not the first mate; she's right below that. But you would have like dealt with her all the time because she's basically third fiddle on the ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she dealt with a lot with like your guys' weapons and armor. She was kind of your quartermaster in that way, or your like weapons master, whatever. And you run into her. And maybe like there's a bit of a crowd like walking through and you literally like bump into each other.
Mm-hmm.
You recognize her and she has a look of dissatisfaction when she runs into you.
Oh.
Do you say anything?
And then be like, how are you doing?
Yeah, so Jakira like looks you up and down, and she's fairly tall. She's maybe like 5'9", 5'10". She has dark hair that's maybe in like dreadlocks, and her skin is darker. And she says, "How do you think I'm doing?" And she has a very like her gaze is piercing. She's looking very intensely at you.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure not well. Do you know what happened to the rest of the crew? Are they alive?
No, most of them aren't.
Oh.
And maybe there's like a beat of silence. And she looks around and she says, "I didn't want to do this here. Can we talk in another room?" And she's never looking away. She's locked. Her eyes are locked on yours. She's gazing right at you.
He's gonna be kind of looking down and be like, yeah, let's talk somewhere else.
Okay, and then maybe you guys she'll find like a storeroom or something like that where you guys can just go and talk. You enter, and you're alone. She closes the door, and she says, "Titus, even if we'd all died, even if I died, even if you had died with us, at least it could have meant something. We could have meant something."
Titus is just gonna kind of like look at the floor and he goes, "Yeah, I've thought about this a lot."
I'm glad you have, because you should.
It's literally the only thing on my mind at all times.
Maybe she like looks away from you for a minute, for the first time in the whole time. She says, "I didn't think I'd ever see you again, and I was okay with that. But I'm not going to leave here. And I don't think you are either. I don't know if I forgive you, and I don't know that I ever can forgive you, but I wanted to talk to you to at least tell you how I feel about all of this."
Well, your feelings are valid. I just have one request that if I am to fall in battle, that you would look after Tempest. I want her to be looked after by one of the crew.
She doesn't. She looks at you and maybe like her. How well do you think you know Jakira? I'll let you decide that.
I think fairly well.
Okay.
I mean, like, yeah.
Then maybe it registers to you that when you say that she looks at you, like her face is, she has a good poker face, but maybe you pick up like she didn't expect that. She's like, wait, what? Like, not that it's, like just that, you know, because of what happened, she just didn't expect you to say something like that. So she doesn't respond for a minute. And then she says, Tempest always was a good boy.
Yeah. She's
Good.
She's
Good girl. She was a good girl.
She was definitely the best of us, and when I told her to retreat, she didn't want to. So, I mean, she's the best of us, and I know that you're pretty smart, and you would take good care of her. And it probably won't be that long till I die, because like they're sending us on pretty dangerous missions. So.
Yeah, she seems again like her face is aloof, but she might again be kind of taken off guard by not how direct you're being, but how blasé about death, I guess, like you're being. So she just nods. She says, I will take care of her if I need to.
Thank you. Hopefully my death will be worthy of redemption or something. Like, Titus is just going to start leaving.
Okay. She'll let you leave. She'll stay in the room for a minute. And maybe we hold on her for a second as she just watches you leave. The door closes.
Devastating.
Jesus Christ.
What did you do?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Is that the most real Titus has ever been in this like whole?
Titus didn't take a drink that whole time.
Yeah, which is
Jesus
shocking.
Christ.
No, because I got when we got the egg, I deliberately asked for water.
That's true. It did happen.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, maybe a couple hours pass. It's entering the evening now for all of you.
Titus is blasted right now.
Okay. Even better. So a bunch of people, like wherever you guys are, some just soldiers, like people, you know, members of the revolution, come and say, "Oh, Mabel wants to talk to you," you know, in whatever way they say it.
Well, here we
Booty
go.
calls.
Are we together?
Me and B for sure are.
Yeah, because I like to stay up on the deck and knit because she likes the feeling of wind hitting her little
Well, so because
claws.
we're like in the base right now, right?
Yeah, you're at the base. You can be anywhere on
Okay.
it.
So you're up on like the island.
Yeah, she likes to stay up.
Yeah, and when I'm done taking care of the dragons, I'm just chilling.
Well, the roost is also up too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's
so-
like it's just right there.
Yeah, I'm also probably like if I'm done tinkering, I'm probably also up there.
Just a rub.
Well, no, I'm
Oh,
on
no.
the very edge of the
Oh,
island.
are you?
And I'm like kind of laying on my
mhm.
stomach with like my arm and like dangling off, and like kind of just like doing this, just like moving my hand back and forth in the air, just like kind of, you know, like when like a kid like wants someone to ask him about something.
Yeah.
very-
Log side. Are you close enough to us so we can hear you?
I don't know. I don't think I'm not like super far from you guys. I know you want the win, so you're probably pretty close to the edge. I'm probably close to the dragon's roost as well. You're probably close to you guys.
Yeah.
You at least see like me heaving. Like you don't maybe you
Yeah,
hear
maybe
something,
don't
you
hear
see me heaving.
Because I come up here a lot, so I've probably seen you, and I'm like,
I've probably done this like every day
yeah,
after I
I'm
finish
probably
tinkering.
like, he hasn't jumped yet.
I'm
I'm sure he'll be fine.
So dark.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I wonder what's wrong. But also, it's just
I
lamenting in the
I
corner.
think it's like happened so often that even Devon's starting to notice it. He's like
Yeah.
looking at me like.
Well, I'm also so typically very chipper.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm just.
And I think
a
it's also
little
like
less.
doing that. If she's watching and she's knitting, she's like, is he breathing?
I don't know.
Sometimes I like inch a little closer to the edge, like lean a little more off.
Part of her wants to say, stop that. It's like,
Yeah.
Titus is gonna just walk into the room and be like, Tempest! And he's double fisting.
Oh
no!
Tempest!
He's
Where
a rough
are you,
kid.
baby?
So I think
Runs up to him and be like, Tempest, I have a secret for you.
Oh my god.
Jakira's still alive. And don't worry, the rest of the crew, they're alright. They're just somewhere else right now. They're all on missions. So our crews, they're all right. Don't worry, Tempest. They're good. Hopefully, I think Jakura might come and visit you. If I run into her again, I'll ask her to come visit you. And then hopefully when the rest of the crew comes back on missions, they'll come visit you too. You know, but they're on long missions. It may be a while.
Dude, what the fuck?
I'm gonna fucking throw up.
So dark.
That's Jesse. I like it.
Oh my god.
That's fantastic.
Dude, Titus is in rough shape
So I know
right
we
now.
don't hear all of that, but we do hear him yelling Tempest, right?
Yeah.
Is this the same day he had his meeting, or is this another day?
Same day probably like this happened, right? I mean, Jesse, right?
Well, no,
Yeah,
because I was going to ask,
evening.
since you've had the meeting, have you been doing this every night?
Oh, well, I thought that you just said it was like a couple hours later.
Yeah, it'd be a couple hours later. In Jesse's case specifically.
Oh, okay. I was just checking.
No, you're
on
good.
the
You're good.
time frame.
Because
Yeah.
could you imagine you just every day Tempest?
Well, no, 'cause it's just like, is he just like spiraling?
Off his
Yeah.
rocker.
I think I'd probably stand up and like look at you and kind of like.
I think Devon
Is
would
he
also
okay?
be like,
Yeah.
oh, he's like yelling in the roost. He's gonna huff up my dragons. He's gonna go down there.
For a second, I thought you were like, I'm gonna look at you, Tanner, and I was like, yeah, I'm just sitting by,
I
hanging
look-
with Arcelli, like Devon.
Yeah, I get it. I think I look at like Devon and kind of like, hey, is he okay?
I'll go check.
All right.
check.
Yeah.
Alright, and I just march behind
Yeah.
you.
How do everybody else's dragons react to that happening
Well, Siren would have been with me.
you? Yeah, so
Kai probably would have just like been like, whatever.
Hey, listen,
That's,
this
This guy.
this fucking guy making all this loud noise. Shut the fuck up.
I was just curious if any of them were upset with
Right,
Titus for doing it, but okay. So Devon, you're gonna go up and check on Titus while he's in the roost.
Yeah, I'll just like walk in and be like, "You good, son?"
Never been better.
And I just get, because I like march behind you, so I just pop out and be like, you sure about that?
Sure, then. Sure.
Watch my
can be.
finger. Watch my finger.
Sir, can you walk in a straight line for me?
Yeah. I don't think you're okay.
Arcelli pulls out a breathalyzer, just
Yeah.
holds it up.
No, I'm just getting ready for combat. A little boost keeps the hands
How do you
steady.
how do you look right now?
Yeah.
He looks awful.
Oh,
Disheveled.
Jesus fucking.
He definitely like spilled on himself several times.
I think Devon would like register like, oh, this guy is fucking off it, and just be like, okay, buddy, here, come on, and like
you
kind
have
of like
something to
start leading him out. Like, come on, buddy, let's go.
Don't worry, rum's got plenty of sugar and calories. It's good for the soul.
All
That's
right,
Good for
okay,
the soul,
buddy.
dude.
Just like kind of just letting him talk while like leading him out of
Yeah.
the roost.
Oh man, with Jakura, she's still as cool as ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
she's cool.
You guys don't know
Definitely
who
the
he's talking
smartest.
about.
Yeah.
No, I know, but we think it's just some crazy drunken
I know the
ramblings.
name, right?
So you would know
So, yeah,
Jakura, like,
Mabel, I know the name, and I know
Yeah.
that they got me like the tools.
yeah, but Mabel gave them to you specifically.
Yeah.
So, a Revolution, like, member comes and get you guys, like, hey, Mabel, want to talk to you. All of you.
We're like leading
mission
this
time.
drunken man.
Maybe you need some water, and I just like hand you water.
That's what fish fucking.
Oh wait, hold on. And I put it behind my back, and I'm like, I forgot. Like, oh,
Is
wait.
Jesse drunk, guys?
And I put it behind my back and like grab something else with my other hand and bring it around. I'm like, I meant my vodka one, and I handed it to him.
Ah, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, you should finish all of it really
you're
fast.
my favorite. I just want you to know. And you're gonna make a real great pirate someday.
Stop saying that.
I know you got.
We should go. We have a meeting to go to.
Takes a sip. What kind of vodka is this?
It's the kind of fish fucking. Give me it back. Everybody take it back and walk away in a huff.
I like that Araceli tried helping and then was instantly non-helpful.
Yeah. Immediately got offended. I was like,
yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Never mind.
All right, so yeah, you guys meet in the same meeting room you met in for the last mission. With boxes around you. There are less now. Things are more unpacked, but
There's a little burn mark on the ceiling.
yeah.
Is there still a broken bottle from the first time?
Yeah, nobody's cleaned it up yet. There's a bullet. There are a couple of bullet holes.
Resistance don't have janitors.
Not yet, at least. So Mabel has another map laid out, and he's drawing something, and he's alone this time. Tandem isn't in the room, but Jakura is. And again, Jakura is probably like 5'9", 5'10". She's taller. She's darker skinned. She probably has dreadlocks and a ponytail right now. Okay. And she is wearing armor. not like heavy armor, but there's like maybe a metal chest piece and leather underneath. And she's just watching as Mabel's working. So, do any of you say anything? Because Mabel seems hard at work at the moment. There's some documents on the table too.
No.
Parchment.
Titus is gonna pull out another bottle from his shirt.
Because we were called in here, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then he's just working. I think Devon, well, like, Titus is, like, leaning on him heavily. Just like,
Yeah.
you called us in here, sir?
Mabel like turns around and sees and says, "Oh, yes, sorry. I got busy." And he looks at Jakura, and she just looks at him, and then he says, "Come here," and he waves you over to look at the table.
I'm kind of like, I like look at like, I think I probably look at B and I'm like, do you think he's gonna introduce us to her?
I sure hope so.
Okay.
So once you're all around the table, Mabel says, "Everyone, this is Jakura. Jakura, this is everyone." And she like looks at you and says, "It's nice to meet you."
Thank you for the stuff.
She says, and she looks at Mabel. "That's who you needed it for?" And Mabel looks a little sheepish maybe and says, "Yeah, he just needed a few things."
I hold my wrist up and I just like, it just spins for way longer than it should spin.
Jakura looks at...
Yes.
What's that?
It's a little tool.
Why does it sound like a gun?
It's not a gun, but I did make it after a gun.
But what does it do?
I'll show you.
Oh, no. Wait, hold on. I don't think this
I
is...
take your
Wait,
bottle
hold on,
and I
wait,
throw it at the end. And I put it to the, so I have three different abilities. One of them is a long range shot.
Okay.
So I figure I use my magic but take a -1 to it.
That
Now
sounds
I can
good.
shoot things that are way further.
Yep, that sounds good.
And it's like a focus shot. You
Yep,
know?
totally.
And so I
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad. 3.
All right, so you guys have seen Arcella do his magic before. This time, however, his fire comes out.
I apologize.
4? Got it.
Yeah.
Comes out of the tube, and maybe it's like more streamlined, like almost like a beam, and it's more direct, faster, and a little harder. So that's a little surprising.
That's
And
scary.
it nails the bottle and breaks it. And there was still alcohol in there, right?
Yes, yeah.
It
It was like full,
Oh,
right?
my God.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was gonna say, some of it is probably lit on fire in the air and just evaporates because there's nothing to fuel it after that. But then like the rest of it falls on the ground and like a couple embers catch and it starts like smoking
Oh.
the alcohol.
Sorry.
Anybody gonna deal with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sully, that was
Yeah.
the coolest thing I've ever seen in my goddamn life. He's gonna pull out another bottle, do it again.
No.
No.
I reached for it.
No, boys. Let's not. Look, we gotta put
We'll
this
do it
out.
later.
Yeah,
Well,
now's
we'll
not the
later.
time for all of that.
I'm gonna put my hand out and I'm gonna
Extinguish it.
contain the flame.
Yeah, that's fine. So
I've also probably been working on my magic, like specifically like my control of fire.
Right.
So yeah, do I have to roll for it?
No, yeah, you
So
can
I
just like extinguish it
close
real
my
fast.
fist and the fire just turns off.
Yeah.
And I kind of just like look at you guys.
It smells a little like alcohol
Cool.
in the room now, but
Smells like a baked Alaska.
Jakura looks at Mabel.
Sorry, that got me.
Jakura looks at Mabel, doesn't say anything, and then Mabel like looks at you guys.
Yeah, and I'm like shaking my head like, hell yeah.
Devon is just gonna move on. Jakura, it was?
Yeah,
Nice to meet you, and like reach out his hand.
she'll shake your hand, and she has a firm like
I
grip.
reach out my hand also, but like way too long
Uh,
because they're in the middle of their handshake.
she'll gingerly take it and like just not even squeeze it, just like hold it and shake your hand still.
I put my hand.
Mabel says, "Now that introductions are out of the way, there's something I need you all to do."
No problem.
So, Francesca Endaios is a high-level Cavalier security officer who contacted the Revolution in hopes of defecting recently. She'll be an incredibly useful addition to the team, but she has time-sensitive information that the Revolution can use to make a major strike against the Republic. The problem is, if the Republic knows she defected, her information will lose most of its value. So, we're going to kidnap her.
Oh.
Okay.
Old snatch and grab. You used to do them all the time back in the day.
I think maybe Jakura even quirks a bit of a smile just because she's amused by that. Mabel.
I think when you're blinking right now, one eye goes down. they
Fog blinking,
yeah, like
yeah.
one goes, the other one goes.
It's really uncanny and it's
Yeah.
kind of gross.
Like, I think you should stop drinking.
Mabel continues. I need you to infiltrate a biannual ball that's held at Dorian Manor. Find Francesca, fake her kidnapping, and I need you to make sure that plenty of people witness it because they need to believe she was kidnapped. They can't believe that she's escaped.
So B's hand shoots up really fast.
Mabel's like still look at the map and maybe starts.
She's really tiny, so she starts like getting more into
Jumping.
Yeah.
He's writing something, but he says,
Excuse me.
He says, B, what's up? What do you need?
Do we get pretty dresses?
Two of you will, and yes, B, you will get a pretty dress.
What about me?
Yes.
And it's funny that you say that. We've
Titus,
secured.
are you gonna wear a pretty dress?
We've secured 2 tickets to the ball and fake identities to go with the tickets, and we have outfits for B and Titus. So you two will take the tickets and infiltrate the ball as guests. But that leaves 2 of you to find another way in.
Devon kind of feels like, when your friend chooses a different like, science partner in class. She's like, aw.
Yeah, I got stuck with the idiot.
God damn it.
Mabel says, I'd suggest disguising as waitstaff, but how you go about this is up to you. I trust your judgment. And he says, I trust your judgment. And he looks over everybody, sees Arceli, and then he looks at Devon. I trust your judgment.
I'm like, what if we just dress up as rebels and just crash it? Looking right at Devon.
I think we should stick to the plan that our leader has laid out for us.
He didn't give us a plan. He just told you we trust you.
He did suggest the whole waitstaff thing. Okay. I make
It's
sure
alright.
Adam knows.
Adam knows. Araceli also knows, but is kind of a dick.
Devon's just gonna totally brush it off whatever.
I'm just clicking my wrist thing back and forth.
Stop that. It's loud.
Oh, sorry.
Mabel slides over a drawing, a sketch of somebody, and he says, we have a contact on the inside. His name is Oris Castell, and he's agreed to aid you during the mission in whatever way you need. He might be able to help with disguises if you need it, but he's not throwing the ball. He's only a politician who's helped us gain access to this. He's a friend, but he doesn't have that much power, at least in regards to this.
All right.
He says the ball starts tomorrow evening. I'll show you both your costumes. I'll hand you your tickets, and we'll go over your fake identities in the meantime. You should plan out how you're going to infiltrate this place. And he hands you or he slides over that map he's been drawing, and sketching on, and it's like a basic blueprint of the manor. It's large. It's Baroque almost, I guess, would be the best
Sexy.
Yeah.
comparison. It's large. It's on its own island, and it's notably outside of a major city. It's like an island outside of it, right?
Yes.
But it's still within a couple hours flight tops.
Okay.
So it's secluded, but not in the middle of nowhere. Mabel taps the table and says, "All right, I think that's everything. Does anybody have any questions?"
His hand shoots up again.
He says, "Yes, B."
So what'll Francesca be doing during the ball? Is
So-
she a guest or is she cavaliering?
Francesca is a guest at the ball, and she is supposed to meet you in the library during the ball at some point. We weren't able to discuss timing. Things were cut off before then. But if you can probably find her in the library when you get there.
All right.
Araceli puts his hand up.
He says, "Yes, Arceli."
Are we kidnapping her dragon too?
Her dragon won't be there. We have other plans for that.
Oh, all right.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, can Tandem help me become a fancy boy?
Do you ask that?
Yeah. Tandem's the fanciest boy I know.
You sloppy bitch.
Mabel kind of maybe quirks his eyebrow a little bit and says, I guess you can ask Tandem for help if you think you need it.
Okay, I'll go get him.
Okay.
Fucking swashed.
I suppose that's the end of our meeting then. If you need anything, let me know. And Jukura perks up. She She says, if you need any equipment or would like me to try and fashion anything for you, in the meantime, I can try, but a day is not long, so let me know soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Mabel leaves. Jakura heads to another room.
Oh, Titus is gonna be like, B, like trying to whisper but still pretty loud.
Yes, Titus, I can hear you.
Can you help me with something?
She just kind of like perks up a little and is like, sure.
Okay, but it's gotta be a secret. Alright, don't tell the others.
Okay.
Nevada's so nervous right now. Like, am I gonna have to fucking wreck this guy right now? Like, am I gonna have to step in?
Do you want me to kill this guy?
Let me kill this guy for you.
Kill this guy for you.
Can you talk to Jakura for me?
What about?
If you could just ask her to go visit Tempest, it'd mean a lot to her. But
Alright.
also, this is the secret part, alright?
Okay.
Tell her not to mention what happened to our crew.
Oh,
I don't want Tempest to know that.
alright.
Okay, thanks, buddy. And he's gonna give it a pat on the shoulder.
Uh-huh. Sounds great.
You're the best. You don't tell the others, but you're my favorite.
Thanks, Titus.
I look forward to the ball, you finger guns.
Oh,
I'm
Jesus.
just
Just
gonna
gives
go
you a
look for,
little thumbs up.
for tandem. Tandem!
Oh my god.
So, does anybody else? We'll cut to that in a minute. But does anybody else want to do anything in the day about the day you have for prep?
I would like actually to ask Jakura something.
Sure. Yeah. So, do you want to like do this right after maybe you
Probably, yeah.
debrief? Yeah. Jakura's in like the armory, and maybe you guys have passed through the room before. Before it was mostly just boxes, like guns laid on top of things, swords kind of scattered about. Now they're all like organized, like things are in scabbards or sheaths, etc.
Yeah.
So, and she's like doing a lot of that sort of thing, cleaning up when you walk in. And she hears you and she says, "Araceli?"
Oh, hi, hey.
And how tall is Araceli?
It's like between like he's probably like 5'10".
All right, so she's like the same height as you.
Yeah.
And she looks at you and has her like hands on her hips, not in a confrontational way, and says, "What do you need?"
Oh, are you any good at like tinkering and stuff like that, or is it just weapons?
Yeah, she thinks for a second. She says, "I know some things about material science, but I don't know that much about engineering, if that's what you're asking."
Well, can you come with me?
She shrugs and she says, "Sure, I suppose."
Yeah. So I like jog.
Okay.
So I like maybe like fast walk just 'cause I want to get there fast.
Okay.
I don't want to go get my board.
Okay, so you want her to follow you, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I guess she'll like walk a little bit faster than she usually would, but she's not trying to keep pace with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I kind of like show it to her and I'm like, do you think that you could make it go for longer?
She looks at it. She like chews her like cheek for a second. She says, "Maybe. I need it for a while though. I can't do this in a day, but
We'll work on it later then."
She nods. She says, "Okay. I'll try to think of something though, if you need help."
Thanks.
Okay, cool. So then, yeah, she'll head back to her thing, her armory. Does anybody else want to do anything before we cut to Titus in tandem?
I would like to find somebody, either Mabel or Jakura,
Okay.
to ask a question.
Yeah, I mean, Jakira is easier to find usually because Mabel hops around, but Jakira is almost always in the armory.
Okay.
So it's kind of your call. Do you want to kind of seek Mabel out? It might take a little minute, or do you want to just go?
If Jakura is
Easier to
there,
find.
then I'll just be like, hey.
Okay, yeah. So her door is open, so
Pop my little head in.
she's maybe just sitting on a chair writing some things down in a ledger, and she looks up and she says, "Oh, B, right?"
Yeah, hi. I just had like a quick question for you.
She says, "Sure. What do you need?"
So I haven't done this in a long time, and I was wondering. So she wrestles through her little pouch that she keeps on her hip, and she pulls out this like, the stuff that she's been knitting. It's like almost a net, but it's really tiny.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, okay, so this may look really small, and you may think I'm a little bit of a madman, but I was wondering if, you know what, it'll be better if I just show you. So she throws this one on the ground, and she uses her magic on it to expand it.
Okay, I follow you.
She's like, do you think this is big enough to carry a human? I haven't done this in a while, and I'm small, so I would not be a good sample size. I could lay in it right now, and I'd fit in it. But that's not... Would she fit in it? Would Frances could fit in it? I don't think she would. I don't know.
Okay, so...
It's made from plants, right?
Yeah, it's
it's made of plants,
It's her vine stuff.
Very good.
So Jakira will kind of look at the net and then look at B and ask, do you want me to lay down in it?
You just see this kind of wave of like, yeah!
Throws it on her.
Because she's a whole foot taller than B is.
Yeah. Okay, so Jakir gets up and, like, looks at the net, like...
I promise this won't be weird. I just need to test to see if it'll fit someone in it.
It gets
or if I need to put two together to get someone to fit in it. You know what I mean? Like, just before we go, I just want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row.
Jakira's not saying this, Tanner's saying this. It's so much worse when somebody says, it's not going to be weird. That makes it so much weirder.
The funniest thing is that Devon is 6'1", right?
Yeah.
So he would be a perfect candidate to, like, see if this could fit like a large person, but she just completely forgot.
I know, I like this, though. Jakira looks at...
she's with you so often.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is normal.
Yeah, this is normal. We're the same
It's the thing that you do with height perception.
Jakira looks at the net and, like, sighs, not even like, just like a exasperated, like, I don't even know what to do here. And she lays kind of awkwardly down in the net and like planks, I guess, like on the net, just like,
okay.
And then looks up at you and just asks, is this what you want? And for the record, it does fit. It will fit like a person roughly her size, maybe a little bigger. As to the tension, like the strength, like if it can hold a person, it can fit a person. If it can hold a person is another question. That's maybe something to test either like with a dragon, or we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like you fit in it.
Jakira nods and awkwardly like gets up and she's like stepped out of the net and says, "Do you need anything else?"
I guess just one quick thing. Titus asked me to tell you that he wants you to go visit Tempest, but there's a condition in which you cannot tell Tempest what happened to the crew. I have no idea what that means, but
her maybe expression is always a little aloof, but her features harden slightly, and she says, "Okay, I'll go do that." Is Titus? Do you know where he is right now?
Last I heard, he was yelling for Tandem.
Off in the distance.
Yeah, it's really loud
He was
somehow.
yelling for Tandem.
Then you just hear, "Titus, I'm coming!"
All right, so then Jakira will nod to UB and says, "Thank you for letting me know. If anybody asks, I will be visiting Tempest."
All right, thanks for your help. And she'll just kind of run out.
Okay.
She's just a quick little jog.
All right.
And I think she's going up to find you.
Word.
So yeah, then that we probably won't see what happens with that. But yeah, Jakira's gone for a bit. Is anybody at the roost? I'd assume no, right? Because I know Jesse's off with Tandem. Sorry, Titus off with Tandem. You two are hanging out. You're not gonna be at the roost, I imagine, right?
No, I don't think I've been near Ossus Reina since she took the egg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. So then yeah, we won't see what happens there. But
They're just fighting.
Yeah.
yeah. So then, do we want to just? Is Devon doing anything, or are you okay?
Devon's probably just like chilling, like sitting inside of the roost next to whatever stall that Simon would be in, right? And just like coming up with plans.
Okay,
Just, like
so
writing in his journal, like.
in that case, then it's an indiscriminate amount of time for you, but Jakira probably walks like 5-10 minutes to like get to the roost, and then you hear like footsteps, and Jakira walks in to the roost. How would everybody's dragons respond to a new person entering the roost?
So you know how like dogs will yell at people who walk up by their lawn?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit like that. Just kind of tense up and be like,
Okay.
Hey, who are you? You,
fuck?
hey,
what the fuck?
whoa.
Hey,
Stop, put that down.
whoa, who are you? Who is this person? Who is this person?
I know Siren's with you. Well, you're with Siren. So how does Siren react to like?
He, like I said, like I think it was like last episode when we were talking about like how he feels about other things around him. He's very. The rest of the world doesn't exist except for like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah.
Sort of thing. So he's not like.
It doesn't even like register.
Yeah, he's like looking at me like.
Right.
Are you gonna do anything? Yeah, whatever.
I think there's probably like a pretty like low like kind of bellow growl from Reyna. Just more like a like letting you know you're walking into like her territory kind of thing. It's like a
right
kind of thing.
Right.
I like that noise.
Yeah. And it's real just like deep and it's like more like bass, like rather than like notes. It's like you just feel the bass inside of you.
You can feel it
Yeah,
vibrate.
like the sound of a what is it? Spinosaurus or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's where you sound terrified.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. So, does she like do anything?
I think she probably like moves a little, so like she's obvious, like it's obvious where she is,
Right.
and then just lets out the
Got it.
and it's like,
Oh. Yeah, maybe like she stops, like Jakira stops when she sees that, and it's
Never
like
mind,
a little
turns out.
hesitant.
I think
the second Tempest sees her, she's gonna be excited to run towards her.
I was gonna say, so, well, Devon, like, do you react, like, before we get to that, do you, like, is there anything you say, like, because you see all this, and then Tempest starts running towards her, and doesn't seem aggressive.
Yeah. So I think when I see her like stop like at Asus Reyna's like noise, I was gonna say something, and then Tempest starts running up and breaking the tension. So it's like, okay, this is okay.
So yeah, like, what, like, maybe Jakira, like, is, like, frozen for a second. Does Tempest, like, jump on her?
Yeah, she's gonna like kind of coil around her.
Okay, so yeah, Jakira, like, for the first time, Devon, that you've seen, like, smiles, like she's obviously happy, and is, like, petting Tempest and, like, hugging her and stuff like that, right? And she's like, oh, I missed you too, girl, like, stuff like that, you know? And then, maybe if we keep watching, like, you know, maybe Tempest, kind of, like, just, like, looks up at her, like, meets her at eye level, and then Jakira's petting her, and then, like, a couple of tears roll down Jakira's cheeks, and she just says, I'm here, girl. I'm here.
Fucking Devon's heart
Devon's
is
crying.
like fucking breaking. He loves this shit. He's probably just like choking up a little, like like just making his presence known.
No, totally. I was gonna say, Jakira probably hasn't even noticed you're here until now. And then, like, sniffs and, like, looks and tries to, like, wipe away the tears, kind of, like, unsubtle, like, subtly,
Yeah,
but
just
not, you know what I mean? Yeah. And says, oh, Devon, I didn't see you there. Sorry. How are you doing?
I'm good. Like, he's like on the verge of like crying because he's just so happy. He's like, you guys are close.
She says,
just like giddy.
so fun.
how long has Titus been doing his thing, like being a pirate? Being the captain of that ship.
Oh, being the captain, like 5 years or so.
Okay.
But he's been with them for probably 10.
Got it. So yeah, Jakira is probably in her early mid-20s, and she says, some of my best memories growing up were with Tempest around. So I'm really happy to see her, I guess.
Oh, did you own her before Titus?
No, Titus has always been in charge of her, but it's not my story to tell.
Oh, okay.
And she kind of like looks away and just keeps petting Tempest, who's probably just hanging out still, you know. She says, I just wanted to say hi. B said to say hi, I guess. But I'm gonna go now. But it was nice seeing you.
Oh, okay. It's like, you don't have to leave. If
Do you
you
say
wanna.
that to her?
Yeah. She seems happy to see you. Cares more about the dragon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
that's how it goes.
She says, no, it's okay. I should get back to work. But do you think Tempest could come with me? And is asking you for permission specifically. Do you think Tempest... Actually, yeah, that question.
Because Tempest is kind of, like, what's the size? Because that's just the biggest thing. Like, oh,
How big
is
is-
she gonna be?
Twice the size of Toothless.
So yeah, she's pretty
she's
large.
quite large.
So
She's
maybe...
more long than...
Oh,
Got it,
more
okay.
long
I
than
think like
big?
a little, like
a little like over like I want to say she's like 8 feet long or something like that, like 6 feet or like 12 feet long.
Oh yeah, she is quite.
Yeah.
So
But she's like 2 of him pretty much laying down, maybe a little longer.
I think the answer to like the size question is she might be able to like fit in like the big passageway that was made for the dragons, but any like door is not really gonna fit her And maybe even you recognize, oh, she's kind of like asking a silly question, like a child would ask this,
Yeah, because I don't think he wants to say no because she looks so happy, and he loves that like bond, that connection. That's the shit he lives for. So I think he'll just be like thinking a little like it's kind of stupid, but like yeah, sure.
Okay. So then, Jakira will say, oh, okay. Do you want to come with me, girl? And how would Tempest respond?
Oh, she'd be excited. Quickly following her.
Alright.
Just hang out with someone who's not drunk.
Yeah.
Wipes a tear from his eye.
So yeah, then Jakira probably leaves Tempest, like hops out the nearest like perch, right? And we don't see them for a little bit. Yeah, and I think that's a good place to end for now. Thank you everybody for listening to this episode of 5 Gems in a Trench Coat. We'll be back next week with another episode.
Do we want to plug anything?
Yeah.
My art.
What is it?
Gremlin Frog art on Instagram and Twitter. I don't really post on Twitter, but Instagram.
All right. Yeah, and then the rest of us, except for Jesse, all work on Adavan's Armory, ADAVANS Armory at Adavan's Armory on everything.
Yeah. And then also you can follow us at 5 Gems in Trenchcoat on Instagram and TikTok, and 5 Gems Official on Twitter.
Alrighty, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Hello. Thank you for listening to 5 Gems in a Trench Coat. Be sure to follow our social medias, Instagram and TikTok at 5 Gems in a Trench Coat, and on our Twitter, 5 GMs Official. Thank you, and we'll catch you in the next episode.